Hey guys, welcome to our live stream. My name is Soo Ra.
And I'm Heather.
And we're so glad you joined us. Today, we're going to be answering all your deepest, darkest flight attendant questions.
Come bring it. Representing flight attendants everywhere.
Let them know who they're talking to, Heather. Tell them about yourself.
So my name is Heather. I'm from Rock Hill, South Carolina. And I became a flight attendant 2 years ago. Moved from South Kakalaka to the Big Apple. Haven't looked back
South
since.
Kakalaka? Where is that?
I'll point it on the map next time. It's real small.
I think she means South Carolina. She's a Southern girl at heart. I'm also from the South, South Korea. Yup, I am. I'm a little Asian baby that was adopted in the 80s, so here I am. Yeah, my first flight ever was actually to America. And who knew? Now I'm a flight attendant. I think I'm a flight attendant just so I can find my Korean parents. If you're watching, let me know. Hit me up in the comments, parents. No, I'm just kidding.
There we go.
But yeah, guys, send us your questions. We're super stoked to answer all of them. Where are you guys from? Write it in the comments right now. Right now, where you from? Where you from? Oh, shoot.
Ooh, hi, homies.
Hello. Wait, guys, we're asking a question here. Where you from? You're from Frozen? Oh, okay.
And I'm curious to see what ages everyone is. See who we're talking to, and if anyone's a flight attendant as well.
If you're a flight attendant, put an FA in the comment.
If you're in New York, let me know.
Yeah, New York.
To a cafe or something.
It's true, it's true.
Go eat at LaGuardia, JFK.
Preferably JFK. JFK's more preferable than, I would rank it JFK the best, then Newark, and then LaGuardia for food, personally. All right, so let's check out some of your burning questions. All right.
So, how old were you when you were first on an airplane? So, I was 13 years old, and it was the best moment of my life. I went to the Bahamas. And when you're like that age, like you know what's going on, but you don't always know everything that's going on. My head was in the clouds, and I was like, this is where I belong. I'm a Pisces, like looking out the window at the wings, taking my typical flight attendant picture.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was gonna be a flight attendant. Here we are.
Oh, that's so cute.
What about you?
I was 13 months. Don't remember a thing, so I think it went pretty well. And that's when I knew I wanted to be a flight attendant. No, just kidding. I didn't even know what was going on.
We have a question.
We have a question from Alyssa Board F. Meow.
Can you like just live on an airplane?
We can we can actually.
Flight benefits.
You got everything you need.
Best.
We got snacks, we got in-flight entertainment, we got water. We got
meal flights. So
blankets,
if you know,
pillows.
you can check and see on your flight benefits if that is a meal flight, and if you're hungry and the bank is looking a little low, your bank.
I think actually
a little low,
you could
go on those flights.
I think you could survive on an airplane for probably like at least a week or two with all the snacks and water that are on there.
Yeah,
I mean, you might, you'd actually probably
build your immune system from all the germs on the plane.
True. Yeah. Oh, here we got another one. Avery Equits. How many times a day do you have to be on a plane, and is there a limit?
So depends on what you're scheduled. Could be scheduled 2 legs or 4 legs. So legs for flight attendants are trips. If you go from LaGuardia to Boston and Boston back to LaGuardia, that's 2 legs. But if you're doing something like LaGuardia to Boston to Indy to Dallas, like that could be 4 legs. And as far as the limit,
how many times do we have to be on a plane? Well, if you want to keep your job, you got to be on for the whole time.
When they tell you.
Yeah, but it's up to 16 hours of duty time. Is that what it is?
Whenever you time out, that's whenever they are like, all right, we'll put you back in. We'll put you in the hotel. But they can limit your rest to 8 hours, depending on the airline, just for the ones we represent. Then.
Which means, 8 hours. Oh.
Ashna
T. How often are the airplanes actually fully cleaned? Toilets?
All right.
Well, they're usually cleaned between each flight. Sometimes cleaning may just involve crossing a seatbelt. But they're fully clean. There's like an army of people that come on the plane during some long sits, and they do the
plane is sitting somewhere overnight, or if that plane depending on the code share, is in one of its home bases. So they'll do usually a full clean there. But when it comes to cleaning the back of the seat of the tables, those don't get cleaned very often.
Yeah, I even do it.
At least toilets, they're more often than
I still wipe the toilet down and then I line the toilet, and then sometimes I still squat. So you just might want to like have all your precautionaries.
Try to not touch anything.
Don't touch anything.
Grab some of the napkins.
Yeah, I don't touch doorknobs.
Before you touch the doorknob. When we're working, I know I take sprays and any hand sanitizer things and wipe everything I'm gonna touch. So that includes inside a laboratory. So hopefully it's a little cleaner if you fly with that.
Although our immune systems are crazy though, because I've only gotten sick like once. I think I've been exposed to every germ out there pretty much.
Right. Next question. What was the interview process like? Okay, this is
well, first you gotta put your application
online.
in.
Do a little research on which airline you like, if you have the base you want, because it's so much easier to live at your base than trying to commute. Shout out to all the people that commute into base and then start work.
Imagining like some people complain about like, oh, I have to drive an hour to work. Imagine having to jump on an airplane every time to get to work. But the interview process, basically you gotta send in your application, and they only hire like once or twice a year depending on the airline. So you gotta kind of be on the lookout for that, sign up for updates. And then you gotta, they usually do like a questionnaire, just kind of screening out all the crazy people, I guess. You know, make sure you know how to
your personality,
answer
or if you're like a team worker, things like that. If they line up with being a flight attendant, and obvious questions are like if you have visible tattoos or if you're the right age. Yeah, generally in the United States,
you can't pass the questionnaire.
You got to be able to sell alcohol, you know. And then step 3 generally is a video. So you answer their questions. Other airlines may do a live video with certain
kind of just like what we're doing now
at that airline. And then step 4,
you go in person.
You say hi, hello, my name is, and I want to represent, and I have this customer service experience. Choose me.
I've worked at
and then
fast
they'll let
food,
you know, they usually give you a call back, and then from there you get to go do training. So that could be a month.
That's
or 2
an interview process in itself. You're still being like, you don't automatically have the job when you go to training. It's like a little bit of boot camp, you know. They're basically still weeding people out. So if you don't wear your pantyhose,
but they want you.
You may be going home.
But you just have to have some grit, and you're going to be going through some crazy drills and emergency scenarios. You're going to be able to do all these exams and pass with at least a 90%.
Basically,
and if you don't, you get kicked out and put on the next flight home. True story.
Bye-bye.
It's really sad, but you know, you have to like be on tip-top shape, because you're going to be working overnights and weekends and random mornings and not like just
like I just celebrated Thanksgiving and Christmas with my family last week, so just prepared to be doing that. Because I knew I wasn't gonna get it off. So that's, I mean, so
Sniper Zens, you know. But it depends on the color on this beam in the plane. So when you do hear a chime, look at that color, and it will tell you like generally what it means.
On one of our planes, like the orange is just somebody in the laboratory needing help, but it looks like red, and that means emergency. And I'm like, oh my gosh! Every time I'm like, help. Help. Oh, okay, wait, it's just someone that tried to flush toilet and
then blue is generally the passenger. Someone calling,
usually a little kid.
Button. So you just look at what row they're in. You see that light, you go down there. So
the light switch is different than the one with the little person on it. That's for us. The one with the light switch is for the light. People get it confused all the time.
Red usually means bad. What's the best time of year to travel?
The best time of year to travel? I would say when everybody else isn't. So summertime, no. Winter, no. Delays. In the summer, you got thunderstorms. In the winter, you got snowstorms. In the summer, you got people off of school. In the winter, you got holiday vacation.
Weekdays generally, and also depends on the airline and Saturdays. So you can actually look and to see, like Sundays, they sometimes have lesser flights in said city, or weekdays they have tons of flights from. You know,
basically
LaGuardia to Charlotte.
Go someplace when everybody else isn't. You know. Swim upstream when everyone's going downstream.
Celebrate Thanksgiving a week early. It's fun.
That's what I did. Christy L says,
hours
of work do you take? how many hours do you work in a week? Well, I feel like I work 60, but I only get paid for 6. See, that's the thing.
In a month.
People don't know this, but flight attendants only get paid when the door closes. So when we're boarding and deplaning, we ain't getting paid. So we're working for maybe like 4 hours, but if the flight's only 2, because we gotta get there
We're still at the
early.
gate.
Yeah, we gotta get there early, and we gotta watch you guys all put your
check on
bags up,
everybody. All
and
that.
hang your coats up, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
But as far as working a week, so
I work in a week,
generally,
yeah,
I
it
know most flight
varies.
attendants work like 100 hours a month flight time.
yeah,
Week varies because you can pick your days off. You can generally bid it. And so some weeks might be like none or like a couple, you know.
yeah, it really varies. Like last week, I didn't work at all.
40 hours.
And this week I worked every day. So you're guaranteed 75 hours. Most airline, that's the standard. You get paid for 75 hours minimum, whether or not you work them or not. So, yeah. Does that
so
make
if it
sense?
gets canceled and you already had it on your schedule,
Yeah,
you know,
hopefully
you're
you're
like, I got
pay
paid today.
protected.
Okay,
So-
Nikita Lal.
Hey,
said that right.
Nikita.
What are your best trips for a long haul flight?
Drinks, water.
Best tips, not trips.
Oh,
My
best
bad.
tips?
You understood it
oh,
right.
best tips.
Yes,
yeah.
best tips for a long haul flight.
Water.
Moisturize.
Gotta keep that looking baby fresh.
That recycled air does so much
Oh yeah,
to your
you know
skin.
what? Yeah,
We're
I
Asian,
would,
so we understand skin.
I would get one of those like nail masks, you know, like the nail ladies
I don't
wear.
mind like if people wear face masks, you know. It
I
doesn't
mean,
bother
I wish
me
like
when
we
they're,
could
just
because
sitting.
I
Yeah.
think it helps a lot filtering the air.
Put lemon in your water.
Does that help?
Well, you can ask the flight attendant for lemon in your water. I think it helps. I don't know, protect.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
hydrate
Just,
in general.
Yeah, do little foot stretches.
Bring snacks because I mean you may
Bring
get some
earphones.
nice snacks. Yeah.
Bring
but
earphones.
You're gonna get hungry, and I know you don't want to spend a bunch on the snack box. I mean, it's there, but
Yeah.
just give
Bring
me
your
tips.
earphones as courtesy to everybody else.
real.
Bring a hoodie
You
because
can
it
bring,
always
like,
is cold on a
homemade,
plane.
Like meal too, and you can bring it as your carry-on. I've brought a cake before, you know, like so I was like, this is the like cake from this place in DC that I really like. So I was like, yeah, I'm bringing this. And they'll just scan it. TSA will look at it. All right, cool, nothing
They'll, like,
explosive.
swipe
Great.
it.
Yeah, let me just taste. Let me
Let
check.
me try that again.
And then eat that on the plane, and everyone will be envious of you. I mean, hopefully you don't have something that smells too crazy because I'm Asian, so I get the fishy smell. I
Ooh,
get that.
Yeah, don't bring
But
durian on a
I
plane.
know. Don't bring durian.
If you know what
don't
that
bring,
is, don't bring
Just
it.
be like considerate. Like ask the person next to you. It's okay if I eat this. Like it's cool. I'm gonna starve. Like I don't eat it. But
Yeah, just-
then that helps so much. I know so many people that get so hungry and all they have is like pretzels per se for that day.
True.
Then they are miserable and they can't fall asleep because they like are so hungry.
True.
Bring food.
Yes.
Feed a bell. How much do flight attendants get paid?
Oh
Alright.
shoot. Well, my Venmo is Soo Ra for the. Okay, wait, what? How much do flight attendant gets paid? Well, back to that 75 hours minimum. We're guaranteed an hourly payment of 75 hours a month, but it varies.
The
It's
hour
all
rate
oh,
does
yeah.
depend on the airline too.
Also depends on seniority.
Generally around like the 20 something per hour.
Yeah, and up. Yeah,
23,
depending who you
higher,
work
lower.
for. But yeah,
Per year, if
it
you
goes
just
up
work average,
about
I want to say you make
$2
like
a year each
20K a year. But if you
Yeah.
work a lot, like if you work over that 75 hours, so you're like overtime, you could definitely get more.
Yeah.
And every year it does accumulate.
but I make the most of. I get paid in. Well, we also get free snacks. We get paid in airplane food.
You get all the soda I want as long
And flight benefits. Those are the
we don't run out.
best. I'd probably use my flight benefits if you were to do the math, probably more than
Oh yes,
my paycheck.
absolutely.
So I do this job. I mean, come on.
Seriously,
Gotta-
those $1,000 flights, and if you're someone that has family all over the place, it's perfect because
Mm-hmm.
you can be there if your cousin has a baby or like your grandma falls down and it's her
Yeah.
and she's like all the way in Michigan or something.
Like normally I would
yeah,
not
you can
go
just
home.
be like, all right, hopping on the next flight, gonna be there ASAP.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
normally I would not go home for a baby shower. But with flight
now-
benefits, I might.
I will.
I might.
And
just
I might.
pop up.
I know a lot of bougie flight attendants that will go. Shout out to you guys. Love y'all. Y'all will go
to Paris to go shopping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Paris to go shopping because you get some deals on those nice designer purses and bags, or
Yeah.
they
Or
will
just-
go to their hair appointment. That's a like 3-hour flight from
yeah.
LaGuardia to Houston, and
Saves you, like,
because
20
they only
bucks.
trust that one lady that's in Texas for their hair, and they only trust that one lady or male or whoever for their nails in like said city state. Yeah.
It's true, gotta stay loyal. All right, here we go. Do you think parents should travel with newborn children?
Don't see why
Sure,
not,
get them
to be
used to all
honest.
those germs. It
I'll
builds
take
up
care
their
of the
immune
babies.
system. Yeah.
Some love, give the blankets. I know lots of like babies that fly. I know them like we're friends. Just kidding.
Yeah, you got
No, but
babies on your
we see
speed
babies
dial.
all the time, and they could be brand new spanking babies. Like this baby was birthed like,
Yeah, like
3
me.
weeks ago. Yeah. But yeah, and the parents, like as long as it just depends on the baby. If they can sleep
Yeah.
through it, they're comfortable.
Yeah, I
if you're
think they say like
comfortable,
wait, what, like 4 months or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
let that baby explore
Might be.
and travel. But yeah, if it's a cry baby,
I mean,
like,
I wouldn't
that's, like,
waste like a
hurts their
ticket
ears,
to
yeah,
like the
you know.
Bahamas on your baby because they're not gonna remember it, and you're gonna have more fun without the baby. But
Yeah.
if you
And
really,
if that
if,
baby like can't,
grandma's not available.
doesn't like flying, you'll know, and just listen to your
Yeah.
baby.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't have any babies.
But yes.
What else we
Wow.
got?
We
Oh
got
my
people-
gosh, guys!
some really good
You guys are
questions.
going in. Let's
And
see. We got
lots-
anything cool? Wait, where did it go?
Let's
Okay, there we
see.
go.
Ciro Martin, what's your scariest experience on a plane?
Ooh, scariest.
Generally, if it's past moderate turbulence for me, well, there's this one instance that this lady screamed, and I was like, whoa, like thinking like something had happened. No, another story, sorry. It just like connects all these things. But I had a passenger recently had a seizure on my flight, and medical emergency knowledge just kicks in. You're like zoned in.
That's the thing. Like,
There was
you
only a
can't-
gynecologist to help me. And the other
let
flight
me
attendant
check your.
was
Nope, that's not gonna help.
checking on everyone in the back. Yeah, we communicated with the captain and everything.
Yeah.
But we did, it just happened in flight, and so we had at least 40 minutes left before we were
Yeah.
landing. And it's one of those things that you have to act instantly.
Well,
because
the thing is like I've also had a
Yeah.
seizure on my plane, and there's really nothing you can do.
you just got to move
for a
objects
seizure.
out of the way.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
just and don't give them anything to drink. I thought initially that's my initial response. Like, do
checked
they
their
need water?
vitals.
No, don't put anything in their
after
mouth.
the session
Yeah.
like was over, he like didn't remember anything that happened, but we did get medical personnel to meet him, and he got taken to the hospital
And
after we landed.
Heather saved the day. Yay. Sam T. What would you recommend for a first-time flyer? Ooh.
You can let us know. We're nice people.
Yeah.
We'll probably give you hot tea with lemon. help
Yeah,
you
let us
calm down.
know. Yeah,
if you're
we'll-
over 21, might give you a glass of wine, let you snooze.
Yeah.
Help you fall asleep.
Get there early. Just
Comfort
like
you. Talk to
try
you.
to snag a window seat or whatever makes you feel comfortable.
Do you realize that
treat yourself
these
first
pilots have
class.
thousands of hours and they're well skilled, and autopilot is great.
Oh yeah,
So
these planes fly themselves practically.
practically. So there's
When-
nothing really to be afraid of.
When you see unaccompanied kids flying, do you keep an eye on them? Actually, that's funny. I had a first-time girl on my plane. It was her first time flying, but she didn't speak any English, so we didn't know that it was her first time flying. And then we had the worst turbulence ever. Poor girl is probably never gonna get on a plane again.
What
I felt so
languages
bad.
do you speak?
Huh?
What languages do you speak? And then if you didn't understand the English, so do you speak any other languages?
Well, she spoke, and I thought my Spanish was pretty decent until I tried to communicate with a 15-year-old, and I'm like, ooh, I think I only have 5-year-old Spanish. I was like,
where it's apple juice, orange
numero
juice.
uno, time on un aeroplane, and she was
¿Dónde
like,
está
huh?
El baño? I don't know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we practically are responsible for them where they're
sign off to
unofficial.
we're watching you.
Guidance
They
counselors.
leave. They're the last ones off the plane because we're the ones escorting them to the next person that's going to watch them, generally the gate agent.
Yeah. I keep them.
So take them to their
I make
family,
this like
parents.
the most fun flight they're ever gonna have. Like I'm
We
like,
put on
you want
many
Oreos?
hats. Yeah, like we're like,
You want cookies? You want chips?
Yeah.
We got sodas. We got
we're the best
everything.
nannies ever.
Party time.
This
Yeah,
is
they love
by
it.
Triggered Children.
Huh.
How
I thought
clean
that was the question. How clean
are the seats, and is the food fresh? Okay. Going to be real with you guys.
I would just wipe it down. Yeah.
Wipe down.
I would just wipe the seat down with your own rag and check
Bring
it out.
baby wipes.
Yeah,
very
bring baby
helpful,
wipes.
especially
Food
the
fresh.
seats, table,
Well, the food.
and armrest. Yes.
Let's say the food is not exactly farm to table, so
It's a little cold.
you might. Yeah, it might.
And then the planes with the ovens will cook them, make them nice and
Yeah.
toasty.
I mean, if you need organic, gluten-free, vegan options only, maybe bring your own food. But
You can also, most airlines let you know, like you can put it whenever you're getting your ticket that you
Yeah.
do want like a gluten-free option.
But sometimes, like,
or kosher.
I've had people, I give them the kosher meal, and they're like, "What is this? Chickpeas? I don't want chickpeas." And you're
Yeah,
like,
but I was like, this is our
That's all
only
we got.
kosher option.
"Sorry."
You can make it nice and bring some extra snacks.
Yeah.
Throw in some
Snacks.
chips in there.
Rennie Lynn.
What is the best way for me to get bumped into first class?
Well, I said it once, and I'll say it again. If you want to upgrade, upgrade your life. That's all I can
Go
say.
to the gate agent and say, I want
Yeah.
an upgrade, and then swipe your card and pay the fee.
Yeah, we can't really do much. Sorry. But, I mean, chocolate.
Bring snacks.
We like chocolate.
Thank you notes.
Um,
Kids
yeah.
like pictures
Just
that
be
they
nice.
drew.
Maybe, you never
Treat
know.
the-
Maybe for weight and
yeah.
balance, if the plane is small enough, we might
We'll
need
know
to
that you're on the
yeah.
top of the list if we
Yeah.
need to move someone for weight and balance. Then we'll know who we need to move.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
But-
here we go. Do you notice any regulars? Why, yes, we do. We have these.
All the time,
yeah.
actually, especially with those shuttle flights. We're like, we know each other
So
by
shuttle
name
flights,
sometimes.
yeah, are basically like between LaGuardia and DC. Like it takes pretty much 30 minutes. Yeah, like it takes me longer to
Sometimes
get to
if
the
that-
airport than to actually work the flight. And yeah, a lot of those people, they go to work every day in DC, but they live in New York, and so it's the same people.
Or
Usually,
they have a meeting and then they'll fly back the same day, and sometimes you might see the same person. Or
Yeah.
I've had it actually happen more than once, which is crazy. But I'll fly to a place and they'll be the passenger, and then I'll stay there the night, and then the morning flight I'll fly out and it'll be the same person.
oh yeah, I've had that too. And usually they recognize you because we see a lot more of you than you see of us. But just play it off cool. Hey, good to see you again. Tom, look on your little sheet.
You're sitting in the same seat, like you know. You know.
Or you're like, wait, is
We
somebody
appreciate you guys. 'Cause
somebody
you know how
stalking
it
me?
goes. You know exactly whenever we're supposed to taxi,
true.
when we're supposed to, put the seatbelts on, put your seat up, all
Yeah,
of that.
we like
they're on
regulars
point.
actually. They know the drill.
Sometimes they like to tip and show love.
Huh?
And you're just like, thank you, but I can't.
Do you have any advice for people that want to become a flight attendant? Well, get over your fear of flight heights, because yeah.
Get all the customer service experience. Most of the airlines that I know need at least 2 years, and it's really nice to see it well-rounded.
Yeah.
Or have some sort of management position. And
Don't do
just to show.
drugs, because you will get drug tested.
No tattoos that are visible.
Oh
sadly.
yeah, that's true. Like if you got a tattoo
Yeah.
on your arm, it ain't happening for you, honey. Sorry. Yeah, you can't have anything. You can try to hide it with a Band-Aid or a watch, but they will find it.
Work out if you can't push a cart that's over 250 pounds.
Ooh, can I do that?
Or
do your
and be able to lift, push, pull, all the things
True.
for the door.
Yeah.
You need to be able to hear. What are some things that like
you need to be able to see.
You need to be able-
Oh, those are yeah.
Yes, there's a couple other things I'll tell you, but
You have to be really flexible, because you could be working at 2 a.m. on a Saturday night, or you could be working at 4 a.m., and during the holidays and for 6 days straight, or you could have, it's crazy,
But
crazy
it's-
schedule.
But if you like change, and for me at least, like I didn't like sitting in an office all day. Like shout out to everyone that does that. Like it's a lot of work too.
I don't know how you guys do it. not for us.
I could feel my body deteriorating, like just sitting, my posture, like probably like not so great.
I feel like
so I want an excitement, and this will have your schedule will change every single day. You don't know, like there could be a delay, and then you think that you're gonna stay in Texas, but you're going to the Bahamas, or you know, okay, that doesn't maybe not that, cool. But you know, some days you do get trips like that, and they'll call you and they'll tell you, all right, we need you to fly to this place, and you're like, okay, great. Do I have a sweater in my bag, or do I have a bathing suit? I always carry a bathing suit in my bag.
Always.
Even if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be in like
to put it out
Canada during the winter. Like things can change. You listen to the voice in the sky and the ETC and all these things, and they'll tell you.
Yeah.
Crew scheduling. Hello.
Not like I have goggles in my bag because I'm a hardcore hotel pool swimmer. Yeah.
Every single time.
I love
neck pillow. And I know people like whenever. Yeah. But I don't have that anymore.
Olivia,
I've learned to sleep like this.
Olivia Oni.
Have you ever been physically
threatened?
Yes. So.
You have?
Yes. Have you not? But maybe I'm just like intimidating. Like,
no.
People just want to fight me. No?
No. I've never been, knock on wood, physically threatened.
Yeah.
What did they say to you?
Mine was a passenger that definitely drank before the flight, but never showed signs of it. So as a flight attendant, you usually scan everyone and you kind of know just little things about the person. And this passenger was fine. I had served him a drink, didn't have any signs of being intoxicated. And later on in the flight, it was starting to show. I don't know if it's the altitude, but it started to hit
something more than alcohol.
He sexually assaulted another person in first class. She was a female and he was a male, and she was married, and she was definitely not asking for it. So I separated the two, and he started to kind of go to sleep.
Was he sitting next to her? Or
he was sitting next to her, and he just kind of grabbed her, like felt on her, and she was like, whoa.
Time out. This doesn't come with first class, honey.
No. And then he started doing, like, once I separated them, he like was starting to go to sleep. So I was like monitoring him, but I put her bag in near her and near this other flight attendant that was non-revving. And then he started like waking up again and was like gonna do it to this other female passenger that was also across. And I could tell that like, okay, like he was slurring his words, and all he was saying was bourbon to me, and was like, why don't you get, like, basically being like, why don't you give me my bourbon? And I was like, I'm sorry, like, I can't, but I can get you some water, any snacks, like, please sit down, like. And then fast forward to us taxiing, so we landed. Captain already knows everything, other flight attendant knows. He keeps on getting out of his seat, and he keeps on unbuckling his seatbelt. And if we're taxiing, I'm going to say over and over on the PA, please make sure your seatbelts are securely fastened, as we are an active taxiway.
Even though it's only one person you're really talking to.
Yes. And you look at them and they know. Well, I don't know if you knew, but yeah, we had to meet so he was definitely like doing the same thing with me as the other female passengers. He didn't get to that point, because I was like, whoa, like hands down, like
I know karate.
Sit down, yeah. But law enforcement met the aircraft once we got to the gate, so
dang.
It was handled.
It was handled. There we go.
We're a team.
Team.
Can you read this one? I don't know how to say my name.
Mayan Twin Sagu. How do you handle noisy babies? I say, hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's not gonna bring you some peanuts and pretzels. I don't know.
We sing.
Noisy baby, you know what? Like, there's really nothing you can do. Is there anything you can do?
I give him the pretzels if the parents are cool with it, so they can play with it sometimes.
Pretzels?
Sometimes, because the babies are like, what's this? And they're all like distracted for like 2 seconds.
And then they choke, and then they, no, I'm just kidding.
But don't open the bag, just keep it closed.
Yeah.
Usually you just have to write it out.
Just gotta write it out. Yeah, baby.
Bring your headphones for other passengers.
Bring some earphones. Yeah, that's a cute
music,
thing. I've seen that before, where knew it was their first flight, and the parents brought everybody around them earplugs and a cute
really
little note. Yeah, that was
little snacks.
But I mean,
go a long way.
Or what my friend did, she just dressed her little baby up in a pilot's outfit, and everybody was just too amused by how cute he was. They didn't care if he cried. So
there you go.
Yeah,
bring
you can't
your
be
babies
mad
in
at the
costumes.
baby pilot.
It's okay. Changes up the scenery.
My baby Cloud says, has a baby ever been delivered on a flight?
There has been so many records, and people that have like dual citizenship, but personally I haven't experienced that.
No. Yeah.
But it has been done.
I did hear about
That's wild.
the toilet baby though, but we won't
What
talk
happened with the
about
toilet
that.
baby?
Anyway, okay. Have you ever caught someone having the sex in the bathroom?
The sexy time
Well,
in the bathroom.
I've never seen anybody join the Mile High Club, but they probably were like at the 100-meter dash, you know, like they were gonna do something, like they were sharing a blanket. And I don't even think they knew each other. So I was like, what's going on here, fellas?
You do get people that are like making out and like, you know, like they're drinking and they're getting to know each other. Or if they're a couple, like I've had one couple, like before we even took off, like she was sitting on his lap and like just like hugging all up on him.
Are you a lap child?
I know, this wasn't even
You're not a
business
lap child, miss.
I'm
Get
sorry,
off.
ma'am. You've got to put your seatbelt on for safety. I don't want you flying. Even though we're all flying. But
no, I don't think,
and then like people might be doing stuff under blankets. I know you guys do it. We know.
Yeah.
And we know whenever someone walks out of the
mockingly
lavatories,
offer you a hot towel.
a certain amount of time, like too close of a time, and they're a little like roughed up and stuff. But
like someone doing like a
I don't know.
self-action.
Just don't do it in front of kids, and don't do it in front of like just other parents. Just save it. Those bathrooms are nasty.
Yeah, it's like you got to be really.
You get suspicions, but I've never seen
that.
someone just actively being like
I think I'd be
sex
just
on the plane.
so repulsed by all the bacteria. It would just not. It would just wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do it for me.
And you
feel
can
like
get handcuffed off the plane and through the airport.
Oh yeah, that's right too. It isn't. You're not supposed to do it.
They might
it's
like
against
it,
the law.
It might be a part of the role play and stuff. But.
So let's check out what else is going on here.
I want to see what you guys have to say.
You guys are going. Thank you guys so much for joining us. By the way, we love y'all. We love y'all. Has anyone ever vaped on a plane? Dingo Boy Blue asked that. Oh,
yes.
I did smell, it smelled like cotton candy, and I know that nobody was eating cotton candy. I'm like, I think someone's vaping on this plane.
When was this? Was it like recently?
Yeah, it's kind of recently.
And it says it so many times in the announcements.
So many. Yeah, it's dangerous. Like you can't have that.
To all my
and
vapors
so
out there.
I just said,
you gotta take that thing apart before you go on the plane. Don't smoke it.
I'm not saying you are doing this, but if you are, just know you will be kicked off and we will land this flight immediately. Nobody wants a delay.
This happened in my first month of flying. So I was finishing a meal flight, so I was like putting all the meals up and cleaned up everything. Me and this other junior flight attendant were just like talking in the back, and because we had just finished service, I'm like, great, awesome, easy flight, landing in ATL, great. So then we see the emergency light pop on. And we get a call from the captain. Captain's like, is there a fire in the lab? Can you go check? The smoke detector went off. So we check the door, not hot, open it, nothing's in there, but there's like a smoke. And it does smell like peaches.
Oh my
I like inspect everything, like other flight attendants there with me, and we did see like a passenger like exiting, and he was sitting in first class. And so obviously did my interrogation. Asked the questions I needed to ask, found out he was vaping, and then had the aircraft
like a $5,000 fine.
And we were about to land anyway, so we just landed at the normal airport we were supposed to land. And then, yes, it is. You can get fined. You can get multiple things.
Is it really worth it? Can you wait 30 minutes?
Absolutely. Yep. We have to report. We have to do so much paperwork with all that stuff. Incident reports.
Man.
Woo! And yeah, you scared everyone because there was someone sitting in that one seat where, you know, me sitting in my jump seat, I can see you right there. They're looking right at me. She was freaking out. It was like this elder lady, and she was like, "What's going on? I'm scared." So I went to comfort her and everything. I was like, "Don't scare everyone on the plane.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared, little old lady."
I don't like being bad guys.
Let's see what else we got.
Ooh, I like the hearts.
Vasula. Ooh, I like that name too.
Do you actually get to see / explore the destinations you fly to?
Yes. Yeah, I could tell you. In Milwaukee, there's a McDonald's, and in
Uber Eats is great.
And Miami, they got a Wendy's. It's really nice. No, sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes
depends on how tired you are. And
just get to see
the length of the overnight.
and the cost of the Uber ride. Because a lot of the times we're right by the airport. That's where they put us, not in the actual city.
They don't always give us a car rental, at least for us. Over 24 hours, if we have an overnight 24 hours, we'll get a car.
So it's like, do I really want to pay
most of the time it's
$30?
23 hours.
Do I really
They got
want to pay $30 to go see downtown Nebraska or Omaha or whatever?
Shots live there though. They probably love it.
Yeah. But it's like you just gotta weigh your options.
There's stuff, you can always find stuff to do though.
It's true.
no matter what
It is
city.
kind of cool,
But
like
you
to
get
see random
exciting
cities that
cities.
you would never normally go to.
Yes, and you get to see how like people live. And everyone's like, it could be like a Monday, and you're just like, whoa, everyone's just going on their thing, and you're like, I'm being super tourist today. I'm going to every single museum, and I went to the ketchup museum and this museum, and probably never would have seen the biggest eyeball or the biggest yarn
That's
ball,
in Dallas.
or just random things like that.
Yeah, just random stuff. Yeah, so it really depends. I mean, sometimes you just see the hotel breakfast. That's all you see of that city. And then you don't remember that you were actually in that city until you're eating the breakfast. And you're like, yeah, I remember these potatoes. I've been here before. And sometimes all you see of a certain city is their runway. And you're like, ooh, wow, look at Cancun. Nice, okay. Gotta go.
Let me dip in the pool, and then we're done.
Yeah,
Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Why do you wear those scarf things around your necks?
Oh, you don't
what
like
are they called?
them?
The purpose.
That's not cute. It's because
Iconic.
it's hiding our. It's hiding our.
There's a lot of
aging
history
necks.
behind it. But actually, they're
Are they cute?
weapons still.
Yeah. They're to tie
they keep
you
your
up
neck
for
warm.
unruly
They're part
passengers.
of the tradition mostly. I feel like.
I don't
Because you
know.
can see all the flight attendant
That's
uniforms
actually
from
a
the
good
years and years
question,
and years.
Charlie.
All
I'm
these
gonna
different
look
airlines.
into it. Thank you.
Actually, though, yeah, we should know the history.
Yeah, the history. I don't know. They just.
But it does tell
look
you
cute.
what co-chair
Yeah.
you're working.
Oh, that's what it is. Like.
So
maybe.
it's an easy way to be like, hi, this is my brand.
Yeah, like, can't you tell we work
I represent my brand.
for Asian Baby Girl Airlines?
Yes.
I don't know. That's a good question. Thanks, Charlie. We'll look into it.
Yes.
What is
Lego
the
Boy
best?
Chang.
Lego Boy Chang.
What is the best seat in economy? Are there any secret
Emergency
spots?
exit rows. Always a good spot.
I know friends actually that don't like them.
Really?
Yeah.
Legroom?
Yeah.
You're not for it? Oh, you don't like that
Because
responsibility?
they like, sometimes they don't have room for their bags in front of them.
Oh, well.
Depending if there's like.
I'll give that up for later.
Yeah.
I would say the ones right behind all the first class. I mean, I don't know if that counts as economy. Sometimes it does.
Yeah. I like
but
window because I like to rest my head and put things
Yeah,
in
it
that
depends how
corner near
sleepy I am.
the window. And then if you use the bathroom a lot, definitely aisle.
Yeah.
Just do your thing. Do everyone some justice.
And if you like cuddling with random strangers, sit in the middle seat, because that's what I always end up doing. I'm like,
No secret
Okay.
spots though.
have you ever been in an emergency landing? Ooh, we don't talk about those
Yeah.
calculator tortilla.
We're
Have you
real
ever been
prepared
in an
for this,
emergency
but
landing?
Those still.
Gosh, yeah, that's getting my heart bumping right now.
Hardy like brace.
Yeah, yeah.
Hands down, stare down.
Yeah, sometimes, oh gosh.
Yes. And anytime we watch a flight attendant movie or airplane movie, any of those with extreme turbulence and things like that, a lot of it is dramatized, I will say.
Yes.
But yeah, we kick into safety mode and we're already like looking at who are able-bodied passengers, the people that could actually lift up the door and help people out and maybe carry that one little like person that has like a broken leg or something,
Yeah,
you know?
the old people, the
Yeah.
little babies.
The ones that need a little help, like if we have a like blind passenger on board or like this passenger and this. You already know.
But Charlie,
What you gonna do?
what was his name? I think I got his. Tortilla. Calculator tortilla. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope never.
So
I hope never. Are there
Haven't.
perks for more senior flight attendants? Absolutely. It's all about
Shout out
seniority.
to my senior flight attendants, and people call them some of them, like the female ones, senior mamas.
Senior
But
mamas.
we send them love.
Yeah,
They know
no,
what's
it's all
up.
about seniority in the flight attendant world. The more
You're tagged with a number,
years
and
you've
it will
worked there,
follow you the whole time you're with that airline.
so you get
You
a
get the
better
trips
schedule.
first.
Yeah, you
You
get
gotta
more
pick
pay.
what you want.
Pick what position you want to work.
But you earned it. You know, you've been there.
Yeah, you've been there.
done that.
Yeah.
Gone to all the recurrents.
So, yeah, there are.
Seen the people
there
come
are.
and go, and you're still there, and you're killing it. You know. Are there
Crystal
perks?
High
Yes.
C. Where is all the food kept? Cooked and stuff?
It's in these cool things called galley carts, and they're usually all lined up, cute and organized. Everything has its own place, and a lot of times flight attendants have their personal way they like to organize things and make their little cubby cute, and where they like to put their pretzels and their this part soda compartment thing.
Food is kept in my belly. No, yeah, it's sometimes cooked, it's sometimes raw food, sometimes you gotta cook it. Sometimes it's already
cold.
there.
Sometimes it's gonna be eaten cold.
Sometimes
like a type of cold
most
sandwich.
cooking we do is pull off the wrapper.
But yeah, and then we're like put on a pretty tray with napkins, and we're just like, hey, here's your
Here's
food.
your pulled
Enjoy.
pork.
Choice option 1 or choice option 2? No, we have a little more like vibrato, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know. We
it depends.
explain like what type.
It's like turkey sandwich, or it's smoked turkey with Gouda on marbled rye bread with butter, lettuce, and sliced tomatoes. Or you're just like turkey sandwich. It really depends what mood you're in. Scarlett, what's your favorite airline to fly on?
The ones that give you extra snacks and love and attention, and the flight attendants are happy.
Yeah.
And they don't look like they're overworked or too tired.
The most seat room.
Yeah.
And
I do like the Airbus 380s because of the room, and the lavatories are bigger. Just like certain.
Yeah, and you don't feel turbulence much on bigger airplanes.
Specific airlines,
I don't think
but
so.
You know which ones we're talking about.
The ones you don't gotta pay extra for your bag. Extra for everything.
The ones that show you extra love.
Ones you gotta pay to breathe on, and all that stuff. But I always
etc.vlogs with 3 S's. Has anyone ever asked you out on the job?
Yeah, it's it's usually people I wouldn't go out with. I wish it was.
You look for that ring on the finger.
That's true. Yeah, that's kind of a disqualifier.
Yeah.
And I've never been out with
that,
anybody.
Yeah.
But
I know people have definitely been like, that girl's cute.
Have you ever been out with anybody, passengers?
Not been out, but been asked out. Yes.
Oh, okay. So,
and I know lots of people that, well, this is like one joke that one of my flight attendant friends said she did to ask someone else out, was like, you're looking like a snack, here's one, and gave a flight attendant snack, like one of those like nicer snacks to the man. So cute. And then I think they like hung out and just had dinner because she was in the city. But and
he sent the napkin back.
Yeah, people will ask you out, like if it's a long enough flight, maybe you'll get to know them. Maybe when you're waiting to use the lavatory, even though you're not supposed to be in the galley waiting, you're supposed to like wait for that light. But then they'll spike up a conversation. And
I've gotten a lot of business cards, and guys say, "Hey, if you ever need anything, here's my business card." And I look at, I'm like, "What am I gonna do with a medical sales rep? Like, I don't need that."
If you're ever back in said city, come hit me up. Come give me a call. Yeah, it's usually like elder men.
Yeah, it kind of is the older guys.
Yeah, and you're like, have a nice day, and then probably never see them, so it's okay.
There should be a dating app for people on the plane.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to. So dating as a flight attendant, kind of hard because of the schedule, but you can make it work. So this is a number one thing that so many people, whenever I was dating around, like, just being single and enjoying life, people would always assume that flight attendants didn't have real relationships, that they were in open relationships all the time, which is totally fine if you're into that. Like, but also, you can also have a committed monogamous relationship too.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I can't even say it. You can make your schedule work around that person's schedule. You can be a lot more flexible than you think. And then if you guys are super serious, you can put them on your benefits and you travel the world and do your honeymoon vibe all year long.
Probably the main reason my long distance relationship is working, because he's on my flight benefits. Otherwise, it'd be like, I'll see you next year. Sorry.
But a lot of flight attendants will not tell you they're a flight attendant because they don't want you to mooch off them. Because number one thing people like to do is like, oh, do you have any extra buddy passes? And it's like, I haven't seen you since elementary school. Like, you were in one of my like classes. I don't remember. Who are you?
What's your name again? No, it's always random people from your past that ask you for buddy passes.
I'm like, talk to me?
My best friend hasn't even asked for a buddy pass, and you want one because I did.
Generally, I'm gonna put my mom, dad, significant other, siblings, cousins, like, it's gonna have a line.
Yeah, you're not even number 10. You're not even top 10, and you think you're gonna be on my buddy pass?
It's always that time when enrollment comes too, when people know, like, it's time for you to change your list.
So, how's it going?
Hi.
How you been? What's up?
I get it though, I get it. Like, that's the perk of the job, and it'd be so fun if we could put everyone on it. Free flights are for me. Yeah,
no, right? Ultimate Gamer asks, if the plane is about to crash, what do passengers have to do? Pray. Pray every prayer you've ever prayed in your life.
Do whatever you believe in, whatever you believe in. Sit down. Okay, if it's really fast, turbulent, grab whatever's near you that's stuck. So like the armrest, the chair, like anything to seat yourself. The other passenger, just grab something. That does happen. People just fall on each other. Put your seatbelt on ASAP. If the oxygen mask falls, put yours on, then help others.
Just follow your flight attendant rules. Read the safety information card.
Position.
Gosh, does anybody read that thing?
Put your hands.
Does anyone pay attention to the safety
under
demo
your
anymore?
legs. And depending on what type of aircraft, or you can put your hands like
show them
on
the brace
seat,
position. I don't know. Yeah,
like in
there
front
you
of
go.
the seat and like cover. You
This
know.
is what you do.
And just
Give
so
a
like
baby,
if you do our
hold the
like,
baby.
it's gonna lessen the impact of the crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But mostly just.
But we usually do the brace position, and then we're like either leaning back to our seat or forward, depending on where we're sitting and what way we're sitting.
And just forgive yourself for anything that you've ever done in your life, and hope for the best. Yeah.
Repent of all my sins.
Yeah. Repent.
What kind of passenger is the most annoying? The one that plays their music with no headphones, loud, falls asleep, and the music is still going. And everyone's like, and it's a morning flight, and everyone's trying to go to sleep. That sounds so personal because they like just happened to me. I was like, everyone's trying to sleep on the plane, and like I'm getting so many complaints. Please, can you turn down your rap music, which I love, but like not at like 6 in the morning, and then you're gonna wake up that baby that like finally fell asleep.
I know, right? And yeah, I would just say, people who be wanting all this first class service when they're in the back of the plane. Like, they want their pre-departure beverage, they want a blanket, they want all this extra stuff, headphones, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, you get all that for free if you are up there, but dang, like, there's like...
Or the short flights that are like 30 minutes and you have to do beverage service, and you have someone that, like, the first person you're giving beverage to is already asking for 5 things. And I'm like, I gotta get to the rest of the plane, and we're about to land, so I gotta do this quick. So please don't ask for like 3 different drinks, and for me to make some special like sunset craziness, mimosa, crazy, like 3 drinks for you before I get through with the service. Like, maybe I'll, whenever I finish everybody, then ask for another one, press your call button, it's fine.
Yeah, or people who just like ask for things that I don't think they've ever been on a plane before. Like, do you have chocolate milk or lemonade or orange pop? No, this is not a grade school cafeteria. We don't have any of that stuff. Sorry.
Also, in the back of the magazines that we usually have, they will tell you what type of drinks we have.
There
Everyone,
you go.
like PSA. They tell you the type of drinks, all of them, by brand, everything. So you don't have to ask, so what do you have? And we go through this giant list, and then you ask for water.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I know so many flight attendants parade. Like, they stress, like, don't ask what I have.
No, it's like, okay, we appreciate you wearing headphones when you're watching the video, but when we come do our service, take them off. Like, you know, so I have people that keep them on.
This could be a whole podcast.
Like, what else
like, what
could I be
that?
asking you? Like, I'm clearly here because... Okay, here we go.
Flora Janschi. Flora Janschi. Any advice for people who get motion sick?
Ooh, I think they got, I ain't no doctor, but I think they got medicine for that. Yeah, and I don't know. Just
usually the warm water with lemon, that helps.
That's like your go-to for everything.
We're limited with our resources.
There are little bags there.
Yeah.
Really, motion sickness. Ooh. Just stay seated.
A lot of times if you're on your phone a lot too, I know that bothers people sometimes with the motion sickness. It could depend on the person. But you know, if you're watching a lot of videos and you're sometimes even reading, like trying to focus on this, and then like if there's a lot of turbulence, it's just messing with your focus.
Maybe just go to sleep.
Yeah, try to go to sleep.
Take a Sudafed.
We'll give you a blanket.
Take some sleeping. I don't know.
Yeah. Over 21, drink a glass of wine.
Julieta
Michael Ornelas Morales.
Oh, hey,
Very
Miss Four
cool.
Names. Shout out to you.
Are you friends with the pilots? So the airline we work with, we actually, I mean, I've flown with a lot of the same pilots, which not everyone can say, but it does happen. And there are a lot of them that I can just be like, hey, what's up, so-and-so, you know?
Yeah.
And
I
like we'll
think it
pass each other
depends.
in the airport.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we're friends with the pilots just as much as we are friends with the flight attendants.
Exactly.
Like, it's
And the thing is, you
everybody.
can like travel with each other.
Yeah.
If you want to.
But I mean,
for
a lot of
fun.
the times, it is the first time you're working with these people on a trip. Like, you don't always work with the same crew. And it's kind of like speed dating every single time you work a trip. So,
Yeah.
where are you from? What do you do for fun? Okay, great. Nice to meet you. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we can become family.
That's
like,
true.
We
Then
met
yeah.
just sitting in the crew room, sitting hot at the
We-
airport for like 8 hours.
Yeah, and then we decided to take a trip
Yeah.
to Greece together.
Yeah, after knowing each other for like less
Yeah.
than a day,
It's
and
our
then
honeymoon.
loved it.
And now look at us.
Found out we both like cilantro.
Yeah, cilantro, and we pack light.
Yes.
And what else do we do?
We
We
don't
like
know how
Asian
to
food,
speak Greek.
obviously. We
We
don't speak
struggled
Greek.
really
It
hard
took us like
with
20
that.
times to say
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah, but it was
Kinda-
awesome.
What is it again? Do you remember? Anastapakal. Okay, I'm
I
making
speak
stuff up.
Vietnamese, girl, and English. I'm
Let's
struggling
see.
with the rest.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, it's going so fast.
I know. I'm
Gretchen
trying to
Chen,
read it.
yes. What would you do if you caught someone having sex in the airplane? Let's see. Depends on
Offer
how.
them a warm towel. No, I'm just kidding. If you guys.
Oh. If it was like in the middle of them like doing it, and it was like in the seat, I gotta say something.
Okay.
The stab.
Couldn't. Do you
Lightly.
choose the flight you want to go on, or do you get assigned fast CX signs? Well, if I could choose, I would be not choosing to go to Rochester. I'd be going to Rome. No, you don't always get to choose. You
can bid.
You can bid.
So
You
put your
can
preference.
but
And I know some people that are very senior, they can
Yeah.
put their preference to Jamaica and Bahamas and all these fun places, and they can have their
But-
whole month just those overnights because they're so senior. So nice.
But if you're not, but if you're not senior, don't even
Amazing.
bother. You're going to Louisville, whether you like it or not, for the 20th
Yeah.
time. No offense
I
to
think
Louisville.
I've been to Louisville.
I love
like
Louisville.
4 or
but
5 times in 1 month before,
Yeah.
and I don't understand. Like, it was just like they just decided.
yeah, right. Rochester again.
Yes. But I got like a Jacksonville coming up, so that's like sweet up.
Manuel Palmieri says, "Has anyone pooped their pants on the plane?"
Yes.
Hopefully,
Okay.
just babies.
How did you guys
but-
know? They like asking questions
Yeah.
like they already know me.
Yeah.
This happened before. I mean,
I
it's
okay.
usually
This
babies.
didn't happen to me personally. Yeah, it's either babies or old people.
And usually they change in the lavatory, and like you can.
Well, it
give
didn't
them
happen to me
wipes.
personally, but I did hear another flight attendant coworker tell me she had somebody bring their own squatty potty once, a grown person, and
No judgment zone,
just
though.
post up in the galley and just do the deed, and that's not okay. Yeah, it is. I think they had to land the plane because that's kind of hazmat.
It is hazmat.
Emily S.
Do you have a permanent house/apartment, or is it always hotels? So
No,
many different answers for this. depending on the flight
It really
attendant. You
depends,
could
yeah.
have 3.
I didn't
homes.
have, I was like, my 3 homes were my friend like Rosie, my friend Cassie, my friend Regina. Those were my homes.
Depends on if you commute too.
Yeah.
So if
My home is
you
a P.O. box
live,
from my parents' house.
yeah.
No, but
Somewhere.
now we're blessed. We have real apartments.
Yes.
But yeah, sometimes
Working our
it
way
feels
up.
like, wait, why do I have one? I'm in hotels half the month.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Usually you're in the hotel like seriously half the month, and then some other people, they'll stay at a place and they'll pay like a daily rate
yeah, they have these
So-
things called crash pads.
as well.
Yeah.
And so they'll just stay there for like 8 hours
Yeah.
before their flight. So they'll fly in, and then their permanent address is like not where they're based.
Yeah, crash pads are essentially like some place you need to crash, or you kind of live there and it's like 12 people in bunk beds in one room. It's basically like summer camp, but without the fun.
And adults.
Yeah, so.
And like, it could be guys, girls, depending on which type of crash pad.
Yeah.
And it could be kind of nasty sometimes.
Yeah, but
if you're used to being on the go,
shout out to our roomies saving us from the crash pad.
Some airlines do give you extra hotel rooms.
Yeah, if you are
commuting. Yeah.
Or,
but it's nice to have a place that you can have as your own bed that's not a hotel bed sometimes. You know?
True.
You need that like zen, peaceful time to just like get back, get rid of the jet lag, all of that.
True that, true
Some
that.
privacy, because our privacy is invaded like every day.
Rowan Buckham asks, has anyone ever tried to open the door during flight? Well, which door? Because I've had people open the lav door on someone else, which is always entertaining. The cockpit door, thankfully no. And the emergency door, well, good luck, because it's impossible to open it during flight.
Yeah, you'd have to have extreme strength if you're in flight.
Like that one scene in Charlie's Angels when they open the emergency door. Impossible. But I guess for an angel, it's not. But yeah, no, it's impossible. The pressure, too much, because people are like, why don't you have parachutes if the plane goes? Well, how are we going to open the door? You tell me, Bob. How are we going to do this?
And if we do see someone heading for the cockpit door, we have policies and procedures to stop that.
Stop it.
No one's allowed. Not like back in the day where you could like have your kids sit up there and be like, look at the cool lights and things in the cockpit and all the buttons. No, you can't do that in flight. Maybe you can do that on the ground if we're already landed and you open the door and you ask the captain, he's cool with it, and you can bring the kid up there and be like, look at all the buttons. But other than that, no, we're not opening that door unless they need to use the restroom or...
Kareem Dawood says, do you get a bed on the plane? Well, no, we sleep in the overhead bins. You never noticed that? You never open your overhead bin and saw?
Surprise! Another flight attendant switching around.
Yes, some planes, if they're long enough, they're big enough, they do have these little tiny
Special
things
rooms,
where you can hardly
bunkers or
set up in it.
curtains. They can be like, hi, taking my nap, and then switching.
Yeah.
Or even pilots do that. If there's
They're
like
really-
more than two. There could be like 3 pilots, and then you rotate, like for the longer flights, let them sleep.
But no, they actually let us off the plane and go to hotels. So no, if it's a short enough flight, we go into a real bed because we're real girls. Okay.
Yeah. How does one get more blankets? The Y cup octet.
You BYOB. You bring your own blanket.
If you
Sorry.
have extra, ask the flight
One
attendant.
per
They will give it to
person.
you. But usually they just make enough for business class, and if it's cold, then all business class people will use them.
Yeah. Find the lady in 14C who's knitting, and you ask her to make you one. That's what you do.
Turn those air vents like closed.
Frisky Cat asks, do you get scared of
cat fans.
crashing? Do I get scared of crashing? All the time. Every takeoff and landing. No.
But it starts to become so routine.
Yeah.
All of the things that we do
Yeah.
that we kind of forget that we're like in the air. You know?
Yeah.
Like we're just kind of like, haha, walking through my living room, like doing my thing, doing my job. That we don't like. You get that wake up call when something does happen. I mean, you do review it. Every time.
Like, do you like turbulence? Like, are you one of those flight attendants that likes turbulence?
I mean, it doesn't bother me as it did before.
Yeah.
So like now I'm kind of just like, like I know what I can handle, and I know like whenever it's starting to get really rough, whenever you can tell the types of turbulence. But
yeah, I think the best way to handle turbulence is to like remember the Rough Riders anthem, like stop, drop, shut them down, open up, stop. That's how Rough Riders roll. Yeah, you know, that's actually good advice. Like, you know. Just stop what you're doing and sit down.
Kevin Navarro, does tipping a flight attendant cash affect the amount of foods or snacks they give you?
I mean, depends what kind of flight attendant they are. Hey.
Yeah. Generally, no, but
the politically correct answer is no.
But usually people tip at the end of the flight too, so it doesn't really.
Yeah. But I mean, it doesn't hurt. We'll take your tips. Guys, we got I can't believe an hour went by already. This was so much fun. Okay, thank you so much.
That was like
for staying in
and sending all those questions. Okay. That's awesome.
We got our last question.
Fam, I see
Drum
you.
roll, please. Woo. How often are planes clean?
Okay.
That varies.
Yeah.
It depends how long in between you got. I would like to say every time thoroughly by 50 people.
They are
but-
vacuumed. Like usually after each
Yeah.
flight, they're vacuumed, and then the toilet seat is wiped, and the sink is wiped.
Yeah, and they spray some stuff.
Yeah, and then spray,
and straighten
and then
seatbelts.
yeah,
and,
straighten seat
yeah.
belts, pick up big trash, you know. But
So-
not like, and they'll look like some bases. They'll look behind every single seat
Yeah.
pocket,
Yeah, that's
and
if
then
it's
look
like.
for all the trash. But people have definitely seen stuff and like leftovers.
So probably not as often as you would like,
Mm-hmm.
but they are clean pretty much. If there's a long layover, they do a pretty acceptable job. So, guys, that's all for you. My
Yeah.
name is Soo Ra. You can find me
And I'm
on
Heather.
Hoorah.
Flight attendants for about 2 years.
Yeah, give them your Instagram name, I guess,
It be
right?
Heather.
It be Heather.
Yeah,
And mine
grammar,
is
right.
Hoorah for Soo Ra. That's HOORA, number 4.
Hope you
Soo
guys
Ra.
represented all of our flight attendant friends and communities and airlines
Yeah,
out
guys,
there.
this is so much fun. Thank you again.
'Cause I know we get asked a lot of these questions, so
Every day.
it's super
So,
nice
yeah,
to
felt
be
like
able to talk about it
We're
and
just hanging out with
get
y'all.
more people informed. ABG Airlines
Yeah.
signing out.
Be nice to your flight attendant. Be nice to us, because we're just there to.
Send love.
Be love.
Seriously, just say thank you, like, and sincerely mean it. It means so much. Compliments go pretty far when you've had a long day.
Oh yeah.
So.
Just be like, ooh, I like your lipstick. I'm
This
like,
has been fun.
thanks.
Thank you, BuzzFeed.
yeah. Bye,
Bye.
guys.